How is the fingerprint sensor on the Google Pixel 7a? I find that it works okay. If it is on a wireless charger, I can just double tap to wake up the screen, press it, and it will work. If I'm holding it in my hand, one tap will unlock it if you hit it perfectly. Let me try it again. Pretty fast. Not as fast as the ultrasonic sensor on the Galaxy S23, but fast enough, and it's laying flat on the table. That is when I start having issue because I don't always hit it perfectly. Then third time I had to press it down harder to get it correct. And I tried to do a slightly angle on the right hand side. This time it took a little bit longer. If I angle my thumb for whatever reason, it's not going to be recognized. I'm going to put the bottom 3 times. So fingerprint is hit or miss for me. Not blazing fast, but it works. I'll give it a solid C, because if you are slightly angled and just miss the sensor by a little bit, it's not going to recognize it. Some people will recommend I just register one finger 4 times, but I don't want to do that. It's on a table, which is easier to use your index finger than using the thumb. And sometimes it's on my left hand, sometimes on my right hand. I just don't want to have to rely on one finger just to unlock my phone every single time. Good news is that face unlock is pretty fast, and if you don't mind using that, that's a good option. They all work in conjunction with each other. If for whatever reason the face unlock doesn't turn on, you can use the fingerprint sensor and vice versa. But for me in general, I always have trouble with fingerprint sensors, so this was no different for me. It doesn't really bother me that much on a day-to-day basis, but it does work, just not 100% of the time. Now let's jump into day 10 in the life of the Google Pixel 7a. Woke up at 5:55 a.m. today, spent my morning making YouTube videos as usual. I got a notification to set up bedtime mode, so decided to enable that. I know in prior videos I complained about how Google Pixel does not have the routine function compared to Samsung. With the Samsung routine, you can set certain actions such as bedtime, driving. Once it detects certain actions, it can perform other functions. For example, if you're in a car and it recognizes that your phone is connected to your car Bluetooth, I usually have it set up so that the Google Maps turn on, the music turn on, the Wi-Fi turn off, so that everything happens automatically when I walk into the car. Or for bedtime mode, usually after 10 p.m., everything is silent. You sleep for 8 hours. You don't want random notifications going off in the middle of the night if you forget to silence your phone. I found that to be pretty useful, and the Google Pixel 7a have that available as well. So decided to turn that on. This is the default. I think I ended up changing it from 10 to 6 a.m. So at least during that time, you know you're not going to be disturbed while you're sleeping. Then in the morning, I went for a walk. 7:53. Phone is at 83%. Here is the front selfie camera. Bright and sunny day. It is 47 degrees. And in Massachusetts, one day is 47 degrees, next day is 80. So you never know what you're gonna get in New England. But anywho, here's what the video quality looks like in the front selfie camera, and the audio quality unedited as well. I have to drop off a package to the post office, and apparently they changed all the mailboxes around Massachusetts. You can't really ship small packages anymore. You literally have to go to the post office. Back in the days, you used to be able to just drop these envelopes inside of the mailbox if it was already prepaid. And once I got to the post office, I asked the guy, hey, what's going on here? He actually told me people have been fishing packages out of the old mailbox. If you can pull down the handle, apparently people are stealing packages. So now they switch it to these smaller holes, but it will only fit letters in. That's basically it. Fun fact there for you guys, the night before I went to 5 different mailboxes just to drop off this single package because all the post offices were closed. Unfortunately, I have to wait until the next day to walk in there and send the package off. Picture of some flowers, fire hydrant. Family photos look pretty solid, no complaints here. 9:30 a.m., phone is at 65%. Spent the morning recording YouTube videos and doing some short clips as I'm walking around. One thing I do like about the Google Pixel 7a is when you pull down the notification panel, it does give you an estimate of the battery life. So currently it is 9:24, and based on my current usage, it is predicting that my battery will last until 4:45 p.m. if I keep continuing at the pace that I'm going. And once I saw that, I said, hold my beer. By noon, it is only projected to hit at 2 p.m. So it can definitely fluctuate based on your usage. I spend the morning working, but I do have the Google Recording app running. So that did kill the battery pretty quickly. And close to 1 o'clock, we are at the 19% mark. I got the reminder to turn on battery saver. Usually I do like to record the time of death at 15%, but occasionally I'll do it at 19% or 20% and just round it by a little bit. So I've been up since 5:55. We'll just round this to 12:55, call it 8 hours of battery life, so not the greatest performing battery life today. Woke up pretty early, barely made it past lunch. Camera is used 13%. Google Recording app is an hour and a half. Sometimes I forget to turn it off after my meetings, so it's running for a while. Have Pokemon Go playing for an hour, Snapchat half an hour. All the random system intelligence running in the background, Google Photos uploading my contents. Somehow YouTube is playing for 6 hours. I don't find that to be accurate. I don't think my YouTube was playing that whole time during the last 8 hours. So some of the numbers do not always add up based on what Google is detecting, and just looking at the battery usage overall. 6 hours of idle time, 2.5 hours of screen on time, so it is rounding to 8.5 hours of battery life. Numbers are a little bit wonky and do not always add up, but at the end of the day, pretty poor performance today. But I think the Google Recording app does take up a lot of battery. And this concludes day 10 in the life of the Google Pixel 7a. Let me know if there's anything else you guys want me to cover. Remember to like and subscribe. Please check out day 9, where I compare the Google Pixel 7a to the Galaxy A54 if you are interested.